Okay, go to create and polygon primitives plane. Just drag and drop to create a new plane in the scene. And all right, let's hide the grid. You can hide the grid from here, or you can go to show. This is this. I can just turn the grid on or off from here. It's the same as you click here. I can find it in this long list, or you can just go to display and check the grid. And if you uncheck the grid, even if you turn the grid on or off, doesn't matter. I really like to check this on and hide the grid or show. Okay, from this toolbar. Okay, this panel toolbar, very useful. Okay, select the plane, make sure the plane is selected, and go to Exchange and create description. And with everything at the default setting, description and collection and everything, just click, make sure you choose placing and shaping guide, choose create. Okay, and here we go, go to place guide, and after we placed a few guides, okay, maybe something like that, we've got a few guides here. Just update, you can see the primitives all over the surface. Let's just hide it. All right, okay, let's go to the utilities, and it's time to talk about some of the utilities. The first one is guide to surface. Okay, before talking about the utilities, if we right click on any guide or select it and then right click on it, we can go to guide control point, okay, and go to the move tool. We can select the control point of that guide, okay, you can shape it to whatever you like. Amazing. And after that, we can show the update the primitive. As you can see, the primitives usually follow the shape of that guide. Okay, let's just hide the primitive. And all right, but what if you wanted to do or to shape this more efficiently? So to do so, let's just select a few guides. For example, this one and this one and this one, these three, we did these four. And if you consider, if you look at me in this, if you watched me, sorry, to when I selected, I first started with this one and then this guide and that one and finally with this guide. So if I just go to guide to surface and choose convert guide to surface, okay, it will convert these guides to surface. Okay, all right. So, and if you have a surface and you want to create guides from that surface, very simple. Just place the surface on the surface you want, then just convert to guide. Even we didn't do anything, but since we had a guide usually already moved, so Xgen conforms the other guides based on that one. So you can see from here. So let's just go back to convert to surface. And if you right click on it, go to control points, we can change the shape. And it's very useful when you, for example, create a hairstyle or something like that. And the good news is you can have you can go to the surface section menu set, and you have all the edit Nirbus tools. You can add or insert or do any adjustments from here, or you can go to, for example, just select the surface. I can go to, for example, hole, and for example, select this hole and maybe move it this way, and select this one. Right click, choose hole, and maybe moving this upwards. So like that. We can even go to control vertices and moving them down, so we can shape this very quickly. And after we finish shaping, we can convert back to guides. And to see the primitives, as you can see, the primitives really follow the guides. Okay. All right, let's just hide the primitives. If you look at me when I selected, I first selected this one, and then that one, and that one, and finally this one. So when I convert guide to surface, we get something like that. Okay. But if we, for example, selected this, and then this one, then that one. So if we go to convert to guides, we get a different shape, absolutely different shape. So for example, if I just selected this and then this one, maybe this one and that one, so we'll get convert to surface, we'll get a surface like that. So the order of selecting the guides is very, very important, okay, in how the surface construct. And you can convert any surface to guides. Okay, you can convert any surface. For example, let me just go to create, and for example, Nirbus primitives, maybe a Nirbus cylinder very quickly. Okay, now you've got, let's just delete the caps. We don't need the caps for now. Okay, and then delete it. So we've got this Nirbus cylinder, and we can convert this to guides. Okay, we got something like that. And sometimes it's not expected. We get something really strange like that, but we've got guides. Okay, even if we go to the updating it, we get some spiral shape like that. Anyway, we can do that. Okay. Maybe to get a little bit more expected results, if we go to again to, let's just choose undo if it can help us. Okay, now it doesn't look like works, so just delete everything. Okay, now go to the create cylinder. Okay, let's do another one. Select this one. Before deleting the caps, let's go to the this one. Let's just add some of this to sweeping, making it a little bit open, and then select the top and the bottom caps. Maybe this time we get a little bit more expected results, hopefully. So select the surface, choose convert surface to guide. Again, we got a spiral like shape. Okay, anyway, okay, that's it for, let's just delete it. That's it for the converting guide to surface or surface to guides. And the point is, if you like to modify the guides using the control points, you can do that. And if you want to, uh, you can create the boundary of the surface, and then you can convert the guide to a surface. Then you can model or change the shape of that surface to whatever you like. Then you can convert back to guides, and mm, you will get all the advantages in terms of modeling the surface to shape the guide to whatever shape or um, style you want. Especially this is very useful when you create a hair, or especially for long hair. It's really amazing. Okay, if we go to copy guides, without clicking this style, this utility on, we'll get both of the utilities in this stack. Also, we've got log, which tells us um, if there's an error or warning. It gives us the warning or something from here. Just collapse it. If you're not very careful, and if you clicked on some of the utilities, you can see you'll get quite a long list and you may be confused. So the best way, I believe, is just to select one utility at a time. Okay, for example, if you just want to convert these guides to surface or back to guides, you can do that. Just click on that. After you finish that, make sure it is on or off. Okay, this is now it's off or hidden, or it is shown. Okay, it's very because I really want to make this area clean and to know what I am working on, or which utility to focus on. Okay, let's go to copy guides. As you can see, this guide, the shape of this guide is totally different from this one. If you wanted to copy this shape to this one, or copy this one to this, you can do that very simply. Just select the guide, choose copy, and select the other guide, choose paste. You can see, very simple. Or if you want to make this one to like that, so just copy this one and select this, choose paste. Okay, to turn back to whatever it was before. So just copying the modification, the control point movements of that guide. Okay, so very self-explanatory, just copying and pasting the shapes of the guides. Copying curves. It is doing the same thing but for curves. Okay, if we, for example, if we just select this guide and this one, for example, and going to guides to curves. Okay, and just with everything like that, which is just create curve. We've got a couple of curves, and maybe this one also. So we can convert the guides to curves. We'll talk about that later, but we can, if you like this shape, this curve, and you want to copy this shape to this one, just select this and choose copy curves. Then select the new one, the target one, choose paste it. Okay, or you can just select this one, choose copy, and maybe this one, choose paste. So as you can see, we can copy and paste in the curves. All right, also we have curves to guides. If you modeled a few curves, this is very nice. If you don't like to create guides, you are really accustomed to creating CV or EP curves, because with EP or CV curves we've got quite, if we created, for example, EP curve or CV curve, let's just create, for example, in this case, a CV curve. Okay, and this is a CV curve. The CV curve, we've got quite a lot of options. For example, here we can edit this curve with a huge amount of tools and uh, um, options and parameters, things like that, we can convert any curve, okay, into guides, not just the one from which was guide before we convert to curves. We can convert back to guide. No, if you even created a curve, you can select the curve and, for example, this curve and choose curves to guide, choose add guide. We'll get a guide very quickly. Even if it's not on the surface, it will be moved on to the surface. Okay. Okay, so just select this guide and delete it. And here we've got a few options when we convert a curve to a guide. For example, let's just select this curve. Which description tells you the name of the description, because if you want to convert a curve in a specific a guide in a specific description, you can see it from here. The name of the description. Now the name is description. We didn't rename it, and the amount, the tip amount, and the tip snap power. It shows you to snap the power of the tip to the guide, okay, because we'll get the guide in the place of that curve. So it tells you how to snap it, how to close. Be close. One is very, very close, as you can see. You can let it not to be that close. Okay. Also, we can choose delete curve. We're going to click on this when you change the curve to guide. The original curve can be remained or it can be deleted. Now, by default, it deletes the curve. If you want to keep the curve for later reference, you can uncheck that option. Then choose add guide. Tells you 100% had been converted to curves. As you can see now. The curve has been kept, which can be seen inside the guide. Okay, amazing. It's a little bit difficult to select the curve, but we can do that very easily if you use the outliner. You can see this is this curve and that curve, and you can, this is the other curve. So from the outline you can very simply copy it and keep it, or you can use the display layers to have a display layer for the just curves, and you can keep them, or for example hide them, something like that. Okay, so this is guides. For example, select a couple of curves, you can do that. Can convert both of them to guides. Okay, not just one curve. You can select as many curves as you want. Okay, the dynamic curve. Now, before talking about the dynamic curve, now you have three options now. Number one is to when you're shaping or wanting to create a style for the guide, you have three options. Number one is to move the guide directly, move the control points of the guides and directly without using anything, just moving. For example, in this case, I want just to move this control point, so we can just do that. And if you think the control points are not enough, we have now 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4, 5 control points. If you think they are not enough or they are really few, you want to want more, it's very simple. Just go to primitive section and go to, so make sure the guide is selected in the object mode. Go to rebuild and maybe go to 10. Now we've got 10 control points. We just right click, choose control points. As you can see, we've got more. Okay, so we can create a more detailed shape. Okay, Anyway, this is one way. Another way is to select the guide or at least two guides and then convert them to surface. And you can work with the surface, and then you can convert the surface back to guides. Okay, this is the second way. The third way, you can select any guide and convert it to curves. Okay, when you convert to curves, you have a few options. Number one is you can hide the guide, the original one. I usually like to delete it, or you can keep it. You have three options. I usually like to delete because you later on will convert the curve to a guide, so there's no need to have the old guide. Okay, or you can have it just for comparison or something like that. You can hide it, or you can even keep it. It's your call. But you have three options, and then you can lock the guide, the curve. If you choose to lock the curve, it's similar to let me just create a curve. If you go to EP curve tool and create maybe very simple curve. Okay, now if you right click go to directly go to control vertices and select a few control vertices, and if you move it around, we will get something like that. Okay, we'll get something similar to that, and with that it means that we have freedom in the shape of the curve. Okay, but we can look the length or the length. Okay, the length of that curve. Then we can shift the curve, but we cannot make it shorter or longer. Okay, and to do so, if we just go back to the object mode and select the curve, you go to edit curve and modify curves. We have lock the lens. Just tear off this menu. You can lock the lens or unlock the lens. Then with that, for example, let's just lock the lens. Now if we just go back to the control points, and as you can see, we cannot make it longer or shorter. We can still shape it, but we cannot make it longer or shorter. So this is it for the lock, and you can also unlock it. And when you convert the guide to curves, you have this option whether you want to lock the lens or you get a curve which the lens is locked. You cannot make it shorter or longer. Even if you choose lock, you can use unlock in the edit curves, modify, or you can choose unlock, or you can lock it again. You can stretch it. Pretty much you have all the options here in front of you to be used on that newly created curve. Okay, let's delete this one. So for example, if we just select this and just choose delete, choose create curves, as you can see this curve is not locked, so we can change the length, but let's just choose curves to guide this. Make sure your object mode, select this, go to add, and then go back here, go to curves, guide to curves, choose lock length, and choose okay. Right click, go to control vertex. As you can see, now you cannot make it longer or shorter. That's something very useful also, especially when you have a grassland or a hair. You want to shape the hair, but you don't want to accidentally make the hair longer or shorter. You want to keep um, the length of that hair or of that grassland, and but you only want to change the shape or the direction of that guide. Okay, or which also affects the primitive. To do so, you have to choose lock lens. Lock lens is very, very useful, especially in hair hairstyle. Okay, I cannot insist how important it is. Okay, let's just select right click, go to object mode, select the guide, and then curves to guide, choose add guide. Now we've got something really to work with, really simple, a very simple guide. So let me say it again. You can work with the guide directly. You can change it to surface. You can use curves um, to shape the guides. Okay, this is the third one. The fourth one, you can change the guide to a dynamic curve, and you can use the hair system to do so. Okay, so you select the guide, choose dynamic, and you can choose create, and then you can shape it. Then if you like it, choose accept. If you don't, choose cancel. Let's choose cancel now. It's the fourth option. The fifth option is if you select the guide, you can choose joint groomer. You can create joints or bones from the control points of that guide. And for each two control point, you'll get the joint. And in this case, we have two options. We can create an FK joint, or we can create a spline IK joint. With the FK joint is a forward kinematic joint. Let's just use it. Let me show you an example. If we choose FK and choose create joints, okay, we get something like that. If we select the joints, we have to go to the rotate, and we should rotate this joint to shape the guide. Okay, and after we did so, we can choose accept the result, or you can choose undo the results. Okay, let's say I like this result. Okay, you can choose accept the result. Now we've got this shape based on the rotation of that joint. Okay, if you like to use joints to shape your guides, and also let's just delete these joints. Okay, I don't like them. I think this is the joints. Just delete them. You select this guide and choose IK. Instead of using the rotate tool, we can use the move tool with the control shapers to shape this guide. But just choose spline IK and choose create. As you can see, we get we get joints, but these joints are locked, so we cannot even select them. But we can select the control shapers, and we can very simply and quickly shape the guide based on these control shapes. Okay, and after, if you like it, choose accept. If you don't, just undo the result. Just choose accept. Okay, choose the select any of these control shapes. Okay, make sure they are selected, and choose accept the result. We'll get the guides again, and we can just delete the control point with the bones, which is we'll create a folder or group inside the outliner. You can delete all them together. Okay. Also, we can have a reshape guide. This is also very nice. In a guide like that, doesn't appear to so much. If we just choose create a guide deformer, just click us like that, we get a shape. It looks like we got the Nebs curve, but let's say, let me show you a more practical example. Let's say this one. Okay, this has more control points, If we go to primitives, go to rebuild, let's set this to, for example, 20. Okay, it's a bit more. Now we've got 20 control points. We just go here. It's a little bit more dense, as you can see. So if we can imagine that we have got a lot of shapes like guys with a lot or with having a lot of control points. It's a little bit difficult uh, to select each and every single control points and shape them. If you want to create to shape it very quickly and to make a broad change, you can go to utilities and choose reshape guide, select the guide, and then go to can specify the amount of control point. Let's just say 4 and just create guide deformers. Now we'll get 4 deformer. As you can see, we've got quite a lot, but we've got 4 deformers, and with all these 4 deformers, yes, we still got this, but we got 4 deformer. With that we can change the shape. Okay, so it's supposed to be 4, but it's a little bit tricky, but that's it. You can see this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4. You can see this is 4. Now with this 4, if you just select this one, and then let's go to the move tool. Okay, you can see this is this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can move these 4 control points instead of going to right click, go to the control vertex to see all these control vertices. We have only those for yellow to change. Okay, sure, only one of them selected, and it's a little bit tricky, but that's it. Just choose cancel, select this, choose create again. Okay, this is now more manageable, as you can see. So we can create change it very quickly, and after you change, you can choose accept. We'll get the guides. Okay, so if you have a lot of control points, you can reduce it using a deformer. Convert to a deformer or a curve with a little amount of control vertex to change it the guide. Okay, it looks like a soft selection on a surface. Okay, all right, deselect this one, and you'll just go to select the guides curvature. With the guide curvature, we have got a couple of options. We can go the scale factor and the max curvature. Let's just set the default. If you just use, make sure the guide selected, you can do that. As you can see, because the scale factor, let's just get scale factor to a low one. As you can see, we'll get less curvature. If you choose it more, we'll get more curvature. Okay, this is less curvature, and the max curvature is very simple. How much do you want to be by the end? For example, if you want to have one full curvature by the end, there is no curvature, it's fully straight. Just undo, hoping you get something. Okay, that's the end result. What you want to get after you click on this. So maybe if you choose 0.5 and your goal is 1, so you have to click twice to reach 1. Okay, and here we go. Okay, so it increases, and this is the max. Like I can see that as the top value looks like to me as a relative value, while the lower value, which is called the max curvature, it looks like absolute value. Okay, but generally I like to use the scale factor, which shows me how much you want to curvature. For example, if you want to add curvature to your guides very quickly, select the guides and choose, give it some scale factor, and then can do that very quickly. Can create some random curvature because each will be curved based on the previous curve. This is a relative value. Okay, with that. Okay, amazing. Also, we can have straight. It's quite opposite with this curvature. Makes the guide straighten or straighten the guide. We just select this guide. This is very curved and choose straight. With one click, it will straighten the guide with the lens preserved. Okay, we just choose undo. Just don't preserve the lens, and it will be preserved with that lens. Okay, the lens will be shortened usually because the curvature will not be straightened back to its original lens. Okay. All right. You can choose how much you want to be straightened. For example, I want to straighten with 0.3. Let's say 30% to be straightened. To be straightened for 30%. Just choose um, preserve lens. As you can see, 30%. We set maybe one more 30%. Now we go something like that. Surface to curves. If we have a surface, we can change the surface to curves very quickly from this utility. And how many curves you want to create it from that surface, and you can just create curves. For example, if you have a surface, just create a nervous surface. Nervous cylinder again. Okay, so like this, kill this cap and the other cap, and this, let's just choose with, I like to get 20 curves from this surface. Just create, we got 20, but doesn't look like, yes, we got 20, but in the V. Okay, if we just go back, choose it U, we got 20 in that direction, which is exactly what I want. Okay, now we can select all these curves and we can change them to surface again, or you can change them to using loft, or you can choose guides. Okay, where is it? Okay, curves to guides. Choose delete the curves. Choose guides. As you can see, with a little bit different in shapes, we can get guides. Okay, so can get that. So we created a bunch of guides very quickly from that. So even if we have a surface, we can create as many guides as we want from that surface. And after that, for example, if you want to change it back to a surface, very simple. Just select the guides. And we'll just go to guide to surface, convert to surface. Now we've got a surface, maybe something like that. Choose hole, select the hole, and then scale it and move it down, and select this hole, right click, choose hole, and select this hole. Okay, So you can change the shape, and after we change the shape, we can convert back to guides. Okay, it's a little bit moved, it's okay. And select this guide and delete it. Maybe this surface also delete it. I'll just keep that surface for now, and we can just go back to curves. So just go back to object mode, select all the guides, to control points, select all the control points, and move them this way, and this guy this way. So now we've got a really nice shape very quickly with the use of using the surface to curves, then convert the surface to curves, and then convert the curve to guides, and even convert the guide back to surface, and can back and forth to do. And even if we just updating the shape, we get some really nice shape like that um, out of this uh, newly created guides. Okay, let's hide it. So we can choose the surface to curves, and in which direction you're usually going to use V or U, and you can choose how many curves do you want, and just all you know after that, just create curves. You'll get as many curves as you want from the surface. Okay, we can get target guides. With a target guide, we can set a target of a target. For example, let's just choose, in this case, apply to these two. Is very simple, guys. Let's just say this is a target guide. Okay, we'll get some sphere like that. This shows um, it shows that this is a guide, and you can choose the select another guide and choose we have a few options here. If you just click on move selected guide, is this guide will be moved towards that target guide. Okay, it's useful for creating compass and things like that. And we have got a few options here. For example, we've got shape blend. Okay, it blends the shape of this with this one. Okay, it's fully blended, which is one. And we've got the tip amount snap. The tip will be snapped directly to this. If you want not to be snapped, just blend the shape. You'll get a shape blend, just like with copying and pasting the guides. Okay, let's just undo. Also, we've got distance fall off. Okay, how much do you want to be affected by that? If it is 0, choose the default and choose some distance fall off. Choose it doesn't work because it's not inside that fall off. Also, it doesn't work. Usually with 0, it looks okay. Okay. And if you don't want to be exactly the same shape, just undo. Just, for example, you want to only copy 30%, something like that. Choose 30%, you get 30% of that. You couldn't do that with the copy and pasting guides, okay? But with that, we have this ability. All right. With the CV selection, very simple. We just select the guide, can go to select all. Not all the CV will be selected. Now the CV, as you see, the CV is selected. We've got 20 because one of the guides consists of 20 CVs. And we can go to the object mode. We can go to the CV mode to select the CV selection modes. It's okay. It's not that useful. I usually like to right click, go to control vertex mode, or to go to the object mode. So choosing utility for that. You can have a lattice, which is very useful if you just select a bunch of guys. Okay, with this bunch of guys, if you want to make a very quick change in the shape, you can create a lattice with 3 by 3 by 3, and choose a create a lattice. You go to 3 by 3 by 3, and you can change the shape very quickly. It's very useful. I believe it's one of the most used utilities in this long list of utilities. Also, we can also make scaling. Can scale it, but unfortunately the scaling doesn't work. Yes, it works, but doesn't have so much effect. Okay, as you can see on the tips, it works fine because usually scaling is still moving, but I'm moving all of them together. Okay, and after that you can choose undo the result, or you can choose accept. Just choose create lattice. Sorry, choose accept the result because we already got the lattice. Also, we can just choose guide check. It's very useful also to diagnose the guides. To diagnose the guides is very useful. For example, if I just go to add a guide, just one guide and one more, and one more. So put a few guides on top of each other. If I choose run a check, as you can see, this is being selected because this is the problematic area. On the identical guides, we've got 4 guides. They are all on top of each other, which is guide 69, 70, 71, and 72. They are all on top of each other. If you have you can delete them. For example, you can select this. Don't delete the 69, but you can delete the other 3 because they are all identical. Just delete. Okay, we got this one. Now we've got no problem. The features run check again, we've got no problem. If you have a 0 lens guide, okay, with no lens whatsoever, it will be shown here, or the same base guide. Okay, the guide with having this, they are different, but we having the same base will be also shown. Okay, and also we have caps to guides. Very simple. We've got a few options. It's just like a utility to help you how to change the surface to guides, and I personally don't use that too much, especially the capsule surface. That's it. Okay.